Welcome to the first episode in a series of videos recapping the restoration of my 1970 Volkswagen Bus. In this video, I'm going to be repairing the passenger side dogleg, which is the section here under the passenger side door. And as you can see, the original section is quite rusty along with the base of the seat pedestal. So we'll be cutting this out one layer at a time, fixing any rusty sections and replacing it with all new metal, which you can see here. So let's get right into it. First things first, let's cut out the original section and make room for our repair panel. Here's the original piece. As you can see, it is quite rusted. There's a bracket there that needs to be reproduced where the bumper mounts, so we'll have to fabricate that. The dogleg is a two-piece section that essentially makes a box. So here I've got the inner dogleg clamped into place, and the left side here will just need to be shaved away at until it fits in with the cut that I've made in the original metal. After a little hammering and some cutting, this is starting to fit pretty well. Here I'm drilling out some holes for plug welds. I use the spot welder on the driver's side. Just a little difficult to get in on that bottom channel. So, in retrospect, I wouldn't do it this way. It's just a lot more work. I'd use the spot welder, find a way to make that work, but this is what we did. Next, it's over to the sandblaster, where I'll get this all cleaned up before we get ready to weld it in place.
How was your day?
The replacement panel is not the greatest quality, and as you can see here, it's got a lap joint. On the driver's side, the better quality piece was a single piece for the outer. So what I'm going to do is cut along this joint, get rid of that lap weld. Those are just not the best, and it's a little bit more work to do it this way, but I won't need a bunch of filler in there to hide that, and it's going to look just more correct. So first we'll cut that apart and grind out the spot welds, clean everything up, and then weld it back together with a butt weld. Now that we've got that piece all cleaned up and the spot welds removed, everything fits together pretty nicely. We'll bring it over to the sandblaster to get it all cleaned up. Got my inner all nice and blasted, ready for primer. Our inner dogleg repair piece is cleaned up and ready to be welded in. Do a little bit of cleanup of the original metal that we're going to weld to. Now that everything's cleaned up, I'm going to clamp everything together with these butt welding clamps. And these are really nice for doing any kind of butt weld. They clamp everything nice and tight, flat, and leave a 1/16 of an inch gap, which is ideal for a nice flat butt weld. So we'll get this all tacked up and get it test fit. Got a couple of coats of epoxy primer on the inner dog leg. Clamp it into place. Start tacking it at one end and hammering it in to get it best fit as we go along. Trying to get this to fit where it looks decent so I can test fit the door. to be angled outward more. The flat on the outer dog leg is not quite at the correct curve or angle to meet up with the original metal. So let's see if I can shrink that a bit, if I can find my shrinker. So this will just tighten up that curve a little bit to make everything fit a little better. What I did not realize until right now, and didn't check originally, is to make sure the flange on the dog leg and the flange on the seat pedestal match up. That's where the floor is going to sit. As you can see, I'm very low, and that is a problem. Oh, so it's really tight quarters over here. Can this thing move? It's a little bit better. All right, I've gotten this in. It's pretty close. I had an issue that I realized where the floor is gonna sit here all the way across, and the way I had it positioned before was extremely low. I want to be about a 1/16 lower than this here, so I had to cut it all out, shift the inner piece up a little bit, and now it's all fitting nicely. All right, I've got this dog leg piece, a little wavy there, but this fits pretty well now. I'll need to patch that in. You can see the old one. This is where the bumper bolts up to. We've got the inner dog leg all set. It's welded up. Got a gap here where these didn't line up perfectly. Something like that. Basically, just make a little piece of cardboard as a template, pop it in there, get it close, and then grab some sheet metal. Template. All right, got that little piece. I'm happy with that. Clean that up a little bit. You can bend it a little bit around. Yeah, pretty close. I made up another little piece to fill in that gap. That fits pretty good, so we're gonna get that welded in. All right, that's tacked in. Now, just welding this up. I've got to cut a piece of sheet metal. I suppose it's time to just take this out. Get it cleaned up. So here, note to add 5 here. Okay. Leave this a little bit long. Not afterwards necessary. I'll leave this a little long. Flatten out my cuts. Right there. Right there. And then this will get it. There. Clean here. Let's do a test here. I have not used this in a while. Okay, so I can see what that does. Little tighter with that. Alright, that looks great. I see why they make a foot pedal for this. It'd be nice to guide it with both hands. But this does the trick. Alright, that's looking good. Alright. That part's done. I'll trim this after I get it in. And all I need to do is get the metal brake and do a quick bend there. I don't actually know where the other handle is. That's great. Lovely. Organize your garage, people. Don't be like me. That looks like it's about the right size. No. Sure. Looks great. Probably watching this saying, how does this guy work in such a mess? Well, you get used to it. That's not bad. And one more. Kind of up on that a little bit. Snowy today. Wire feed drive wheel here is not the correct size for 0.23 wire. Just pop that in there. All right, perfect. So the passenger side is done. I'm gonna I'm gonna get ready to prime this whole area, and then I'll seam seal it, do some filling, and that will be ready for paint. Thanks for watching, everyone. On the next video, I'm going to be installing the new front floor section. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for my channel. And stay tuned for more on the bus and to check out some other projects that I've been working on.